doesn't survive, he is worth a lot to me. Yay, Boba Fett! Hello and welcome to a Smurpy video, and I'm looking at Boba Fett, Star Wars The Black Series Archive. So what a brilliant idea. Hasbro has finally, well maybe not finally, they've realized that there is high demand from figures that were released again, and instead of letting us, the customer, spend a small fortune trying to get this figure off eBay or whatever, they've decided to re-release them in this archive packaging or series. So it's very cool. So I've got to say that that is a very nice picture of Boba Fett, and there he is looking awesome in his packaging. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm not expecting anything different from the original figure. In fact, I haven't had the original figure for many years, to be honest with you. I ended up selling it. I sold a lot of my black collection many years ago. I don't know, maybe fell out of love with it or something, or maybe they just wasn't delivering what I wanted to put on a shelf, I guess, maybe. I cannot remember, for some reason or another. And I never used to review, but hey, I got a couple of figures, so I thought I'd review them. So the original figure was released in 2013, so very nice, and that was the packaging. So I'm glad that they've changed from the other packaging. There was another reviewer which I checked out. I'm trying to remember who it was, sorry, and he pointed out that this is a good idea because now you're not going to get people trying to swap figures out, etc. So, and he's right, it is a good idea, and it probably should have happened many moons ago, because it prevents that whole tampering, resealing, swapping a figure or build a figurehead, as we see in the Marvel Legends community quite a bit. So let's get him out and see what he looks like. Okay, so as a kid, you know, I was born in the early 80s, so around the mid 80s, obviously there was a lot of Star Wars toys, and my favorite toy, the one that I was always drawn to, like most kids around the same sort of age as me, were drawn to Boba Fett. Now, in terms of, he had, he didn't have much, I guess, screen time. If you really think about his character, in Empire Strikes Back, you know, he's pretty cool. And then he has a few little bits in the beginning of Return of the Jedi. But that is pretty much it. I guess the real development from him comes from books. You got a bit of his backstory from the prequels. And I'm presuming there's some comics around him. I've started reading, I've got, like I said in previous videos, I've got Marvel Unlimited. So I've started checking out some of the Star Wars books. So I'm hoping to see some of Boba Fett's action in that. So in terms of accessories, he has his jetpack, which ultimately led to his death when a blind Han Solo smacked it and it malfunctioned and kind of threw him into the thing. I guess the only thing that I would say was probably a bit disappointed about this figure is you don't actually get a rocket that can be released, I guess. But maybe if I wanted to go for the full blown Boba Fett experience, I'd probably look at Hot Toys, I guess. Would be the next step if I wanted perfection. Sorry, my finger's doing it, trying to find the gun. And then we get this beautiful, beautiful rifle, which is very, very cool and interesting, very designed, clearly based on, I guess, a pistol and a shotgun with a little scope on it. So very, very cool. And then he gets his little pistol. And one thing that I liked about this pistol is that if you see Attack of the Clones, I really dug Jango Fett, his little fight with Mace, which didn't last very long. But when he had this little kind of little gun here, which is pretty much identical, although I think that was silver, he pretty much was pretty lethal with it, surprisingly enough. Okay, so in terms of the figure, you know, he's had this outfit for a very long time. He's clearly been a bounty hunter for a very long time, or he's been exposed to war-like environments. But as all Star Wars Black Series, he has a very, very nice paintwork, very, very nice detail. Even on the back, there's beautiful detail. You know, just look at that. that rumpish bum there. He's got, looks like a little bit of dirt down there, sand. Got these nice boots, which look like he's got a little bit of a steel cap in case he has to kick anyone to escape, or his plans doesn't go as he would expect them. And then you have the stunning armbands there. Nice detail up there. And then his kind of chest plate, which is just, it's just absolutely stunning. Stunning. And I'm not sure if that's a mandolin kind of paintwork there. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that means. I know there's some real hardcore Star Wars fans out there. And then he had like a little rocket, or if I remember, he could fire the rope that went around Luke Skywalker to try and tie him up, etc. Kind of like what his dad did with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then once getting back up to the stunning head sculpt. And now they put this in the wrapping so that it had like a little gap. So I think that protected it a little bit better. And then we just have the little bit of cloth detail on his thing, which, to be honest with you, I never really noticed until it was on this figure that he actually had it in the film. So shows how much I was paying attention, I guess. Okay, so here he is with his rocket. It fits quite nicely on his back. It's very cool. Makes him look awesome. Although, just be careful because it could become a little bit top heavy. And here he is with his little pistol. Dig it, I dig it, I dig it. Although that's probably not the right angle. That doesn't help. And his gun feeds into a little gun holster on the side, which is pretty damn cool. And then we move over to this gun. Now, those guys who have had this figure before, I'm not sure why you'd be watching one of my reviews, but if you do watch my reviews, I have trouble getting this gun into this hand. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't seem to function. And I've got it to look quite alright, but it just doesn't seem like it should be right. I don't know what it is. I really dislike this piece because then you can't get his hand around this piece. I tried feeding it to make it work. I don't know what it is. Maybe he needed another set of hands to hold this particular gun, and they just didn't give it to us. It just seemed to really bug me. So just to wrap it up, Boba Fett, this archive collection that they're giving us are figures that we had many moons ago, is absolutely stunning. I'm really glad to have him again, if that makes sense, because I love the Black Series. I just sacrificed it when I felt like it just wasn't going anywhere for me. It was like, what do I want to do with this collection? Palpatine became stupidly expensive, and it just seemed like, why am I doing this? And there are plenty of Star Wars options out there as well, such as Hot Toys. Don't get me wrong, it's a small fortune, but they look absolutely stunning, and and some of these look absolutely stunning. Boba Fett is perfect, but some of them not so much. So it's like, why do some look so fantastic and some not so much? But other than that, great figure. If you've missed out the first time, good opportunity. So like, comment, subscribe, follow my Facebook page, Smurd Pete, and embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.